All right, we are on air. It is Thursday, May 17th, and this meeting is a quick check-in on community outreach tasks for Backdrop CMS. We have some updates coming soon to the website for the module scenes and layout pages. Those were postponed for the release of Backdrop 110, but now we can start making some progress on those. That's issue number 442 in the backdropcms.org queue. We have to write some more blog posts. We have one that's currently underway about our relationship with the Software Freedom Conservancy. They wrote up a blog post on their site. We wanted to do a little more in-depth one on our site about what it means for Backdrop to be part of the Conservancy. So that's taking a little time, but hopefully that'll come soon. And then Nate wanted to write a blog post too for him personally about stepping up the project management committee and how that aligns with our goals as well as the Software Freedom Conservancy's goals. But he wanted to have more of a personal touch on that than just a general announcement. So that one will be coming soon too. I was also thinking it might be good to write a blog post generally about how Backdrop handles security issues, since we had all these security releases recently. And Mike, I thought that might go nicely. I saw your request to add a security page to backdropcms.org. I thought if we could get the security page up and then write a blog post and then be like more information on the security page, then at least people would know that that information is new and it's there for them to read about.
Yeah, I don't know if we need a separate security page as much as maybe a bit more information on our existing security page.
Okay.
Because we have the security page now, but it's like
just releases.
It has just the releases, and then it also has if you've discovered a security issue, which is important text, but that's all it says. Is if you discover an issue, contact us instead of logging it, and then like a bunch of releases. So that's not very helpful for people to understand, like, you know, what our approach is with security. Yeah. I think it was someone else who suggested changing the philosophy to have security as part of it, which I don't think we have now. Were they saying the principles? Yeah, I think like adding something to our principles about security would be good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do we need a vote on that as the PMC?
Yeah, let's create an issue in the PMC queue. I don't imagine anybody wanting to vote no on it, but I think just to follow procedures, that would be good.
Okay, I will create that right now. Yeah, in terms of, did we create a ticket for updating the security page with the text on the security page? Where were we having that discussion?
I don't remember. I think there might already be a ticket for it in the backdropcms.org queue.
Okay. Well, we should definitely see if we can find it.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea to get that information out there somewhere because, you know, it's a question that comes up every time we give a talk on Backdrop. We always have, you know, we have like a new slide now about it to specifically address it, but having it be publicly stated for everybody to be able to read on their own, I think is really valuable. So getting it somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't think we don't have a top level nav item to go to that security page either.
No, it's in the footer.
Which is not ideal for people looking for security information to.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking, like, the security announcements aren't really, like, the history of them isn't really important, which is why it's in the footer, but a security information page would be. So maybe if we move it, if we turn that page into an information page with just the announcements being like an aside at the bottom, we should move it into the main menu. So it's
maybe we should create a separate maybe we should create two pages. Maybe we should have under news, we should have like recent security updates, and then have another page under maybe either about or support saying our general security things. I don't know.
Yeah, or we could also filter in the security announcements into the news feed, so people could find them everywhere they looked.
Yeah, but I definitely think that maybe. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. we should have a ticket just for putting it up in the menu, and then you can discuss it there. I think that there's several different places that people would go to look for it, depending on what they're looking for with security. I definitely think the news one is important, because if they hear about a Drupal backdrop security thing, I think the first thing is news about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe just putting it in backdrop news would be good, but it would also be good to have it in the drop down or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, we'll put it in the ticket. Yeah, we need to find that ticket.
Okay.
Or create a separate ticket for the menu. Sorry. Find the ticket for the security page, create a separate ticket for putting it in the menu.
Sounds good. So we also have this ongoing community spotlight, which is something Tom's been working on with interviewing various people in the Backdrop community and trying to get their perspectives on things. He's got a list of 4 or 5 people that he's been trying to get interviews with who've been very busy. If you have any ideas of other people who we want to see interviewed, I have a couple ideas. There's probably some people who we could get more sooner than the people he's trying to interview, at least right now. So we could probably get another community spotlight if we added some more people to that list. And then we have another blog post, right? We actually have 2 blog posts right now that are written and not published. One of them is a great one from Gregory about security-related stuff and what it's like to be a participant in the Backdrop community during security releases, which I think is really great. But he's waiting for approval from some people that he named by name before that gets published. I don't know where that is in terms of him being able to get a hold of them or not. And then we have another one on, it's very detailed, like how-to instructions for using Backdrop with DDEV, which I think would be great. And that one's ready to go at any time, but I wanted to leave the Backdrop 1.0 release post as the top post for about a week before we do another blog post. So that's ready in the queue for as soon as we want to publish it. If anyone wants to review it, it's unpublished if you're an editor.
Yeah, I see it.
You can use another read over.
We should get a profile photo for Rick.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Our profile photos default to a picture of drop on the profile pages, it looks like.
But not in the blog posts.
But not in the blog posts.
Okay.
Or not, yeah. So that might be another thing to do, but we should probably just get him an image. Get an image of him. Could you contact him about that? Just
he emailed me and asked if we wanted any changes. So I'll write back and be like, can you add a butterfly photo? Okay, good. Okay, so anything else that people want to write about that's timely, we have a process for that. You can just write a blog post, we'll review it and schedule it to be published. The next time is that, you know, as soon as it makes sense for us. We don't have a ton of them going up every day. So it's sort of like once a week is no more than once a week is our ideal time frame there. But yeah, if you have something you want to share with the Backdrop community, that is a good place for anyone to do it. All you need is an account on backdropstudents.org. Okay, newsletter. So we did not send a newsletter last month. We do have a lot of things to tell people about this month. First and foremost is Backdrop 110. So probably we will do a 110.1 release. We've found one problem that's serious enough that we'll probably want to do a release in the next 2 weeks. There's not like a huge hole in anything, but it looks a little sloppy. We're printing some markup to the page where it shouldn't be, so we want to clean that up. And then I noticed in Gitter today, was it Graham72? Yeah, reported a problem with the layout handler fix that we added. So we should probably do some more testing around that to find out if that needs a follow-up fix too. And then those two would probably go into 110.1 along with any usability improvements that are ready at the time. So also in that newsletter, which will go out the same time as 110.1 and the same time as 110.1 gets pushed to Pantheon, is maybe a blurb about Backdrop being part of the Software Freedom Conservancy, along with a donate button. And we might add that paragraph to every newsletter going forward, just something in the bottom about like, if you'd like to make a donation to Backdrop, here's a button, and make it easier for people to donate. And the new Software Freedom Conservancy button does make it a tax-deductible donation, which is new this year, which is exciting. And then if we wanted to do more newsletters in the future, we could do one specifically about the Conservancy when we have that blog post ready to kind of pair with the blog post to let people know in more details what that means. We could do one to pair with our security blog post. And then we also have a lot of integrations going with various external services. So we've got this DDEV tool, we've got Lando support, we have Backdrop and Civi CRM working really well together. We've got sponsorship from Fastly. So if we wanted to do one newsletter that's like, look at all of these things that Backdrop works with, that might be a good thing to let everybody know that Backdrop is integrating with the rest of the world. So could be.
Do we have a blog post on that?
No, well, we're about to have a blog post on DDEV independently. We have one on Civi CRM. So there's kind of a whole bunch of separate things that I think none of them are really big enough to be a newsletter on their own. But I think if we wanted to write a newsletter that was like, hey, look what Backdrop can do.
I just think that's such important information that we can put in the newsletter, but we should definitely also either have a blog post or we should have like a page on the site containing that as well.
Okay.
We should probably use that. If we actually write that content, we should definitely use it in more than one place.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Important.
I like the idea of having a page on the site, and then each one of those things can have, you know, a more in-depth link to the blog post, but like just a summary of like, this is, you know, we integrate with all these things.
So is this the line on the agenda that says Fastly DDEV CRM?
Yep.
CRM? Okay. And you were thinking the group was like, look all the things we work with?
Yeah, like some kind of like integration with common services or something like that.
What is DDEV? Sorry.
It's a local development environment.
What's Fastly?
It's a content delivery network.
Oh, okay.
What are all these things? Okay, videos. I want to do a video today on unbranded pages. So this is something that I think marketers are going to love, the ability to just remove a header and footer, create a page for whatever they want. It's really easy to do that in Backdrop. It's still pretty hard to do that in Drupal. It's hard to do that in WordPress. There's a lot of systems where you just can't get a plain white page with CMS integration pretty quickly and easily. So I wanted to do a quick video demo of that, like a little 5-minute one. If anyone has any other things that would be really valuable to show off to people about Backdrop that we can do in 5 minutes or less, I'd love to get more little kind of tweetable video promos about things that people really like about Backdrop so people can see the stuff that it does, particularly stuff that's different from other tools that are out there. So open to feedback. Feel free to let us know, however, if there's something you want to see. I also got a request, I think via Gitter, or maybe it was the forum, for how to do updates to a Pantheon site. So there's a couple of tricks there because the configuration management workflow, depending on how you have your site set up, it could be a little different. But with Backdrop 110.1 coming soon, I thought that might be a great opportunity for me to make a video of how I update my Backdrop sites on Pantheon. So I am planning on doing that the next time, and we have a page on backdropcms.org about how to update on Pantheon, and I think we should just drop a video in there if we can get a good one. So I'll see how that goes. All right, so we have an issue number 439 in the backdropcms.org queue about what we should be tweeting about. And I've been trying to do a pretty good job about scheduling tweets a week in advance. Sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't. But just trying to figure out what people want to hear about via Twitter is something I'm not very good at. So if there's anything we should be tweeting that we're not, or anything we are tweeting we shouldn't be, let me know via this issue. And then every week I try and queue up a bunch of stuff. So I think we have some new sites in the showcase I'm going to try and highlight this week, and then some upcoming events. But if there's anything relevant or timely we should share, obviously other than the release, we can do that. Okay, other things. So anywhere Backdrop is mentioned, we like to add that to backdropcms.org. I know there should be a DDEV post, I think, this week, but I'll double check that and see if we can get that linked up. Upcoming events. So there was a Backdrop Civi CRM conference a week ago that we don't yet have a write-up on the website. I haven't had time to do that yet, but I'll see. Jack and I were both there. Either one of us could write that up. I probably have more time than Jack, so I'll take a look at that. And then the next event, I believe, is Twin Cities Drupal Camp. Yeah. And after that, I know there's a bunch of other camps like Drupal Corn Camp and Drupal Camp Chattanooga and a bunch of Drupal camps, but I'm not sure if there's any one presenting on Backdrop or having any Backdrop laughs at any of those events. So if anyone in the Backdrop community will be attending those events and wants to add them to our calendar, that would be great. Please run it by the Drupal event organizers first to make sure they're okay with that. I think that's it. If anyone's curious about Backdrop's content strategy, we do have a map in the backdropcms.org queue. It's issue number 349. And if anyone has any ideas about other ways we should be communicating Backdrop to the outside world, and more than happy to listen to ideas. We are generally developers and not good at marketing, so anything we can do to spread the word, we would love to. Do you have any other thoughts or suggestions, Mike?
No.
Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this meeting then, and we will meet again in half an hour to talk about active development tasks.
Wait, what's the thing at the end with the, do you want to get opinions on this issue? Sorry, did I just miss that?
Oh, I don't know. This might be from last week.
Oh, it's a change the language on the philosophy page.
Okay. I think that's fine. So there's just an issue. It's issue number 453, where Jeff is recommending that we change the language about what our priorities are, rather than to state which people we prefer over other people, to change it to which experience we value over other experiences, which I'm fine with. But I definitely think that we should weigh in on that issue. That's issue 453. So if anyone has any thoughts or feelings about that, let's take that conversation there.
Okay. Cool.
All right. See you in half an hour.